Let's be frank, this is what you were waiting for. Making some proper aim in Junglism on an MPC, and I think this is what we're all... so before talking about it, let's just do it. I think most of you have already seen an NPC either on YouTube or in real life, or maybe got their hands on one already. I think I don't have to explain it in detail, just high level overview. The NPCs came out, I think, end of 80s, and this one specifically, I think 97 or 98, the NPC 2000. And you have this built-in pads, and it's a sampler, and you can also control MIDI and so on. But the cool really thing is that you can sample stuff directly and layer it on or put it on the pads and just play it. There are other videos already out there, they explain how this whole process is being done, but in my video I really want to focus on jungle and drum and bass, if it helps my kind of production style to evolve, or maybe if it adds some features or some cool variation. So talking about some cool features, obviously the MPC is famous for the drum pads, and this is the real thing. This is no simulation, this is no emulation, this is no variation, this is the original thing. The MPC is made for playing drums and even drums live. So you might have seen this already on YouTube, but there are guys out there that play jungle live and they can do it way better than I did because they practice. I didn't practice this, but I think it looks really amazing what they're doing. Another cool thing, which is a new development of the last 5, 10, 15 years or whatever, is, you know, initially you had the limitation of a floppy disk. So you had to load your samples through a floppy disk into the memory, and then you had your memory available. I don't know how much my unit here has really, but my unit that I got from eBay has a replacement beneath here, where they replaced the floppy drive with a SD card reader, and the SD card reader is connected via the SCSI port. I can load 1 GB of samples into the memory, which is, I think, amazing, because this removes really the limitation of the storage place that was initially available. You just remove the SD card and put it into your laptop and transfer the WAV files, and the latest operating system is able to load WAV files as well. Also, the MPC is famous for its swing mode, so the hip hop guys and some others really appreciate the swing mode. So when you record some drums, you either have it straight on the grid, or you can add some swing after that, and the swing mode from the MPC specifically is very famous. However, I will not cover that because I think drum and bass is fast and I do not need the swing mode. I need my stuff really be tight on the grid. Also, my unit doesn't really have included an FX board, so I think, if I'm not wrong, with the FX board you can also have additional features like EQ, overdrive, reverb and some delay, so I don't have this. So my unit really is just very basic. It has an internal mixer, but for example no equalizer is available there, just a very simple low-pass filter. So I'm not so really sure on the FX board, but I read something on the internet that my FX board from the S2800 sampler might be compatible with this MPC, but I have to figure this out. That would be quite interesting for myself. Also, what this unit doesn't really have, I don't have many direct outs, so there's just a stereo out available here at the top, at the back, however you count it. So therefore I have to output everything in stereo mode and can't really connect it to any mixer or to my individual inputs of my audio interface, sampling and slicing. The initial idea or the initial workflow is, right, you record something and then you put it on your pads and then you just play it. I won't cover this in my video because you can see millions of videos how they are doing this, and I already sliced up an aim and break. And how this works is, I have here my full sample. And then here I took the same one, but with another starting point. And here in the end I have the crash. And I can just play it, right? And I added some mute groups, so that when I play this note, it will mute the others. See this? I think this is quite interesting for jungle because this is exactly how you want to play sliced samples. Let me show you how I've done this. So what you just need to do is you go here to the program because I was looking for this, I think, a whole evening. And I just go here, go to params, and what you want to have is you go here and come here and go in here and open the window, and here you see, okay, this specific pattern will disable these other two nodes. It's a little bit complicated compared to battery or other software from today, but it does the job. You get the idea. For playing live, there's also something interesting. You have the node variation slider, which goes like this. First of all, you assign it to a node and then to a parameter that you want to assign it, which in my case is the filter, and then you can just play it. So if you're in a sequence, let's go here. I forgot something. You have to turn on the after node variation button, because so therefore if drums are played from the live sequencer, you can edit it live. And here you see already a limitation, because right now I have no clue how I can map this effect to all the drums and not just this one. Maybe someone can tell me. The second very famous effect is here the note repeat button. Listen to this. This can give some additional nice vibration, some nice interaction when things are played live with the MPC, even from the sequencer or song mode. I'm still in this process of learning the MPC, and especially this old school system. On the one side really nice, but on the other side, whatever I learn here, this is like for its own individual ecosystem, right? Sounds maybe stupid, but what I learn here is just good to play the MPC. But if you have the Ableton Push in front of you and you learn to practice it, you implicitly learn as well as Ableton Live with the whole DAW, and with the whole DAW you can do way more than just with the MPC, right? Very soon you realize that DAWs like Ableton Live and others are, of course, more evolved, and they are younger, and they learn from the MPC and its limitations, right? And another thing is you don't have really inbuilt compressor or even equalizer. Would be nice without the effects board, but it's not in here. So you can just really slice a sample and filter it a little bit, but that's it. Another limitation is the system with sequences and tracks. And if you're used to Ableton Live with the clip view, you see this limitation, because a sequence consists of tracks. Tracks can be anything like I play here some things, and then based on top of that I can add another track, I can overdub it. But I cannot really take over something to a next sequence, so I have to think in sequences, and just cannot really vary the elements. So I cannot really take over the baseline pattern I was playing and copying it to the next sequence. At least I'm not sure how to do this in a more efficient manner. Let's jump into a track. I have my first sequence. I already recorded some sequences, and here the second one I want to add some additional hi-hat for the DJs, and here for the third one I want to have a simple bass line already ongoing. So let's do this just. So I go just here to the second sequence. I take another track, because the first one I was always using for the aim and break. So I add here my DJ hi-hat. It's faster to just repeat what you want to record instead of edit it in a step mode, because there's also a step mode, but it's a pain in your butt. for the third sequence, I want to have my bass. And for that, I just go here to the 16 levels mode. I say I want to play my bass and just remap it a little bit. Then turn it on, and so you can play your bass. Cool. Let us here add some crazier bass. With one more sequence. Unused. Okay, so I copy this one, copy to the next one, just do it, and then I have these lovely pads here. So let's record them too on another track. One more thing. Here's my Mark Renton trademark strings. Copy that to another sequence. Then we have the full song and some effects I'm playing later. Open window, just copy this one to the next one. Because I think the strings are a little bit too loud. Alright. I think I'm going to rename the sequences because otherwise I'm lost. So let's say this one here. Enter, close. Alright. And this one, let's do the hi-hat a little bit quieter. Also, of course, 2 times. I think what we're missing is sequence with just the pads. I think would be nice. And you know what? Instead of always setting up the sequence, it's always easier to just copy your old sequence to copy your old sequence and just paste it to the new one and then edit it from there. So it takes over, for example, the PM and some other settings and maybe tracks that you already recorded. Open full copy to 7 pad, do it. So let's see how this sounds like. By the way, before I start the song now, another lessons learned is save your stuff. I always hit 2 times. See this, the disk. I go to the save button, save all sequence and songs, do it. Save, replace, yes. And another thing is save all programs and sounds. Just do it, save, replace. And now even if there's a power failure or I turn off or I just, leave work, I at least know that it's saved, obviously. So let's listen to the song. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about that. Talk to you soon. Bye.